Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first expanded universe novel. It's been reprinted many times. In fact, it's on its 47th printing, and I have 3 of the different editions of Splinter of the Mind's Eye here. All the same book, but as I'm starting to kind of collect the expanding universe, I've managed to get some different editions of it. So this is not the first edition. I do not have that one yet. The only difference between this edition and the first edition is that the first edition from 1978 for this first expanding universe novel had red font. This has white font. This is the printing from 1981, as it notes in here, and it is the 13th printing of Splinter of the Mind's Eye from 1981. And the only difference is this white text here. Note the price back then, $2.75, and it's got the really old Del Rey science fiction logo right here. It says, from the further adventures of Luke Skywalker, based on the characters and situations created by George Lucas. Splinter of the Mind's Eye, a new novel by Alan Dean Foster. I think what's really interesting to me about this edition is that it doesn't have the Star Wars logo anywhere on the front, because they didn't know that it was all going to be called Star Wars eventually, because they just threw Splinter of the Mind's Eye on it. And I think that's really interesting. It's also it's kind of got the Star Wars font here, with you can really see it with the S and the T. They're going for this being Splinter of the Mind's Eye that looks like the Star Wars logo, which I think is really, really cool. I really like the art, of course, by Ralph McQuarrie, this lightsaber here. The art is really kind of iconic to me at this point. The old Del Rey logo here, the ISBN down the spine, and the back cover just being a block of text with a summary of the book. It's very similar to the Han Solo trilogy and Lando Calrissian trilogy prints from this time, the 70s and 80s. As this is the oldest, really thin Del Rey mass market paperback copy. But then we move on to the classic Star Wars printing from, I believe, 1986 is when they printed this. But I could be wrong. This might be in the 90s when they introduced their classic line with this Del Rey print. This is when they collected the Han Solo trilogy, the Lando Calrissian trilogy, and the original Star Wars trilogy, and put it under the red classic banner. I believe there's 6 books total. No, there's only 4 books that have this red classic banner across the top. Lando Calrissian trilogy omnibus, Han Solo trilogy omnibus, the Star Wars trilogy omnibus, and then, of course, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. And it has now a special introduction by George Lucas. And this is something that's very important for Expanded Universe fans. As with this introduction by George Lucas, he talks about how the Expanded Universe expanded, quote, his story, which is important for Expanded Universe apologists. And it's still got this Del Rey logo here. Alan Dean Foster, the name is now not up here, and it's not a new novel because it's been out, so it's down along the bottom. Still got the Ralph McQuarrie art, but most noticeably now you have this Star Wars logo. It's got the kind of embossed gold foil print stamp, so you can see the indentation on the next page. And the art looks like it's been upped in its resolution a little bit. The color grading looks different, so it's like there's a filter on it. The red here is more like precise, I guess. And yeah, it looks like it's under some kind of filter, so the art's been updated. Vader's head goes through this Star Wars logo here. The trees look a little different, less green, more bluish. The spine has the Star Wars logo now, and the kind of an updated, nicer looking Del Rey logo with the science fiction genre up at the top. And the price is still on here. And the price has been updated from $2.75 to now being $5.99. So we're going to really see how the prices of books went up over the years. And now it's on the spine too, which is like all the Bantam books of this era, and had that down the spine. Now the back's slightly different once again. It's more easy on the eyes, I think, than this one. But yeah, so this is the most common copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye, I think. It's the one that I see in most people's collections. Because, like, I guess it had the widest circulation. It's the easiest to come by. This classic reprinting from the 80s or 90s. I believe 86 is when it said, but I feel like it would be 90s, right? But maybe it is 86 that they did this. That's according to Wikipedia. But again, Wikipedia sources, are they right? Who's to say, right? But yeah, I think this is the most common one in collections. It's the one I got first. This is my newest edition. This one's pretty rare. I didn't even know it existed until a couple months back. This is Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It's a purple edition. It's got like a red outline around a white Star Wars logo, and the art has been downsized to fit here instead of the whole cover. The title across there. It's still got this special introduction by George Lucas, although the text is formatted differently in the bubble. Alan Dean Foster's name's across here with new font. It looks quite nice. And now the price is not on the cover anymore because they stopped putting the price on book covers. So you go here, and the price has jumped again. Another whole $1 up in price. Now it's $6.99 for a book. And here's the back cover. It's fairly standard. And now you'll notice there's websites. They didn't have websites here. So you can see kind of time is moving forward. But the most interesting portion of this volume is, well, the art is on the side, on the spine, which is kind of cool. The Del Rey logo here. But most noticeably, look at that, the Lucas Books logo. That blew my mind to find out they had a copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye with the Lucas Books logo on it. Just so insane. This is the 41st printing of the book, and I believe it's from 2005 or 2006. And copies I'm missing is the red text Splinter of the Mind's Eye paperback, which was from 1978. I'm missing the original hardcover. That's a little bit more harder to come by. And then I'm missing the Legends Banner edition from 2014, which has upscaled art that's really quite nice. And I really like the text of the Legends Banner one. But advertising for episode 1. And it still won't say what year inside for some reason, but according to Wikipedia, it's the 41st edition. And according to the eBay page I bought this from, it was 2005. But this episode 1 advertisement makes me think that maybe it's 99 or 2000 rather than 2005. But that's just what the eBay page said. So here's the 3 copies I have of Splinter of the Mind's Eye right now. I'm missing 2 paperback editions. Then I'll have the complete set, and then 1 hardcover. So I'll try to track those down at some point. But I just thought it's really cool, like, to see all these different printings of the same book, how it changes over the years. Here's the spines all together. And I was just really glad to have all of these in my Expanded Universe collection, because I think it's just really cool. And I think the purple kind of surprisingly suits Splinter of the Mind's Eye quite well. It's just so cool to me that the Lucas Books logo is on there. Wow. Absolutely wild. I can compare the spines as well. I got this 1981 printing of Splinter of the Mind's Eye with the white text from a comic book shop in Missouri for $2. I was really surprised. I was pretty happy about it. And this purple Splinter of the Mind's Eye is pretty rare. I bought one of the only 2 listings I could find online, and the other one is up on eBay still, I believe, for $15. So if this interests you, you can go grab it. I think the purple is really cool, and it kind of fits more in line with the shelves, you know? Like, it's got the Rogue Planet, Cloak of Deception kind of style to the spine. But yeah, these are Splinter of the Mind's Eye editions. So this is the 8th printing, the 16th printing, and the 41st printing of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. So 81, supposedly 86, supposedly 2005, but probably 2000 and maybe 90s. So yeah, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It's a pretty good read too. I do enjoy Splinter of the Mind's Eye. And now I pose a question for you guys. Which edition of Splinter of the Mind's Eye, as seen here, which of these 3 printings do you like best? And is anyone else going to be crazy enough to go and try to find all of these different cover volume editions, or do other people just not care that much? And what do you guys think of the Legends banner copy or the 78 paperback that the only difference is red text? What do you think of those editions? Which is the best here? Let me know in the comments.